This is Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. This is Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. I am Trudy Leong, Administrator at the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. Our very special guest is Chris Krzentz of Chris Krzentz Presents YouTube. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Chris Krzentz Presents is an international YouTuber worldwide. A lot of different interesting videos and a Silver Play Button Award winner.
Correct. For passing 100,000 subscribers.
All right.
What was your first YouTube video on your channel, and how many views does it have now? Do you know? Do you still remember?
Well, the first view, if you go back in 2012, probably has 1,000 views, and that's me. It was me dancing the twist at UIC long time ago.
Dancing the twist. So,
but that was filmed before 2012, but I just posted it around that time.
Oh, and you're wearing a vest right now.
This is the UIC Flames logo, the athletic teams of UIC. I went to school at UIC also. I worked there. I was there from 1983 until 2001, and I got this from the bookstore down there in 1983, and I'm still wearing it. It's still in good shape.
Yes, good material, I guess. And
yeah.
What did you study there?
I studied criminal justice. I got my bachelor's in criminal justice. I was also in the honors college, and also took courses in electrical engineering and social sciences and everything.
Quite a wide variety of material. So all those studies, do you apply any of that knowledge to your YouTube videos, and how does your education affect your videos? I
did. My YouTube videos, I learn as I go along, as I film, and I've been in criminal justice. I get to know the laws, the state laws, the local laws, federal laws. And then one thing about my channel, I don't show any crime or violence, and so I have to be very, very careful. But I know exactly what the laws are to film, where not to film. Like I don't film inside buildings unless I get permission. But on the street is different; it's public domain. But I got over almost 3,000 videos, so it's hard to remember every single video that I did or where I went, and it's all over the world. But the majority of the videos are over 1,700 filmed here in Chicago.
For your foreign videos, what countries were they in, and also what were the restrictions? Was it the same? You're allowed to film outside, but you have to get a permit to film inside?
Well, it's a little bit different in overseas. I film in Dubai. In Dubai, for example, they don't allow you to film people. We have to film the exterior. So what I did a lot of films in Dubai on the highways, showing the architecture, the buildings. And in other countries, I had no problem. But again, I didn't go inside the buildings because I wasn't aware, except the mosques and the churches. I went in and filmed it, like in Istanbul, in Athens, in Cyprus. And then I did quite a few videos in London, Austria. There's all over the world I filmed it. And actually, there's people right now watching from London.
Hello.
A couple of them, hello, and a couple of them in Australia. They're watching this live.
Cyprus?
Cyprus as well. Cyprus is a little bit late, but there are people watching it.
What about so they do allow you to film inside mosques and churches? I would think that would be kind of a safe
No, they do. In Turkey and in Cyprus, I have no problems. Actually in Cyprus, the actual imam of the church invited me, and I went inside, and he's on camera too, showing me the place around. And then I film in churches with the priests, so they're very happy to see you over there. Mm-hmm. And I also film a lot of churches here in Chicago. I guess those are the only exceptions. For some reason, churches and places of worship, the restrictions are not as high as the other ones.
So let's talk about the city of Chicago here.
Yeah.
You've got the buskers, the street performers.
Oh yeah, I got
You've got a lot
500
of those.
videos of those. Yeah.
Tell us about those.
Oh, I love those. When I first started filming, I was filming almost every day, like started in 2012. And every time I go on the street, I see people playing music, and I will film them and then get their names, get what they are, and then they talk to me on camera and everything. It was exciting. Every time I go, there was like different people. And I think the number one video that is still going strong after 8 years, it's the Chicago Traffic Jam Band with the guest Dave Russell. That unfortunately he died. That video is still going strong. It's approaching 600,000 views. And what they do in the Plain Hotel, California, like music, and then use it. And one of the guys is using the vibraphone. And it's a really amazing video. That's the first video you see when you go on my channel if you're not a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, just go under most popular and you'll see it. And it's about 7 minutes long, but I just love filming. I love music, and I love live performances
Was that
on the street.
Was that your first busker video, or what was?
No,
your
it
first
wasn't
one?
the first. The first, I don't really remember the first because there was more than one. The first, like I said, I was going down on Michigan Avenue filming, and I think the first video I may have filmed 5, 6 of them.
So do you
And
normally get
I
those?
posted them in different time, different
Okay.
dates.
Do you normally get those? Do you get those drummers on the buckets? Do you get?
Oh, I did. The Bucket Street Boys, I filmed them quite a few times. And then when they got to know me, they used to flag me on the street. Hey, come out, do a video. And I did a video, one right in front of the Art Institute, but they all happened to be there. That was in 2016, I believe. There were about 8 or 9 young kids playing the drums. That video got probably 60,000 views, and people were commenting from all over the world. And I'd be interested to know what happened to those kids. It was 2016, long time ago, but it was one of the best videos and best sounds, actually.
What about dancers? Did you film
Yeah,
any
there
dancers?
were. Yeah, I did film dances. Most of them were at Navy Pier. Navy Pier Garden they have over there, where they do concerts, and there's one of my favorites. It's Brazilian. It was a Brazilian night or evening at Navy Pier, and what they do, they show you how to dance, like the samba and everything, and then they do the actual show. So I did capture both of them. It was like an hour of video. And also another thing is street performances. I forgot what it's called. It's a City of Chicago dance right on Michigan Avenue, about 600 South Michigan, where they do the same thing, like dancing on stage. They do it every year. And I film a lot of those.
So they
Dancing
would,
videos, yeah.
so they gave a class in the Brazilian dance and then dance themselves.
And they're all free. They're all free classes. They were. I don't know if they still do it. They're all free dances. And the one that I was mentioning, 600 South Michigan, is actually organized by the city, the Cultural Affairs Department.
case.
And then it's not just Brazil. They have Latin music. They have salsa. They have soul music. And I did film all of them. And also another thing I did at the Taste of Chicago. I film a lot of those where they have music. I also filmed the Blues Fest, the Jazz Fest. Again, there's about 500 videos on the music playlist.
So when you're filming, do you set your camera on the tripod, and anytime that you participated in the class yourself, did a little dancing while you were filming?
No, actually, I don't use a tripod. I just carry the camera in my hand. And if I end up dancing, then I just hand the camera to somebody there. And says, "Can you continue?" And then they do it. And there was not a lot of times that I was dancing, but there were a couple of times I just give the camera to somebody, and then they continue filming.
The music was very catchy, right? You just had to
Yeah.
jump in there.
I just like to improvise. I don't like to sit there with a tripod and get a good picture and everything. I just go with the flow, and then it's all improvisation.
Any tips on if you're going to be holding the camera, how do you resist from shaking?
Well, I have some programs that take care of the shaking, but some of the new smartphone cameras now, they have their own stabilization programs inside, so that you don't have to worry about it. You just have to have a steady hand, and the way you do it, the more you do, practice makes perfect. The more you film, the more your hand gets used to it. It's like a surgery. The more surgeries you do, the more your hand gets.
So technique versus equipment. Tell us about it.
Oh, technique. Technique. I like to capture the moment. You know, if I see something that I like to film, I go right in it. And then if you have good equipment, it helps. But it's not the equipment. I think it's more what your eye and your camera sees. It's hard to verbalize the technique, but basically, technique is more than the equipment.
And then through your YouTube journey, have you learned, like you did one video and then you're like, okay, this one, you did 10 or so, and then one of them was your top one, and then you kind of shifted how you did your videos to what was more receptive to the audience, or how do you do that?
Actually, the way I improve my videos is what my subscribers and followers are telling me in the comments. You know, when I first started filming, I was just filming with I wasn't talking, I was just capturing the moment, and you just hear the sights and sounds, and then people start commenting, why don't you put some music in there? So I started putting music in there, and then I ran into copyright issues and so I had to fix that problem. And then somebody said, why don't you just say something, talk about it, we'd like to hear your voice. And I started talking, and then I've been talking ever since for a very, very long time, not just here, but when I do the films overseas, and then people like that, and I kept, so the last, unless it's a music video that I'm filming on the street, all my videos now are me talking and showing you where on the picture, like the architecture, the streets, the name of the streets, because I've been so many times that I know the streets by heart now. And I'm talking only about downtown right now, like Streeterville, the Gold Coast, near North Side, South Loop, West Loop. Because I don't have a car, I just walk most of the time. And every now and then I may get somebody to drive me, but most of them are walking videos. I go to festivals, I go to different places. And I learn the streets by heart now. Before I get there, I can tell you what's in the next traffic light and what to expect. And then especially when the light is red for pedestrians, and then I show you the whole entire block, and you get to see bonus footage.
So I've seen your channel. I've watched a lot of your videos. Somebody suggested that you look up.
Correct.
I was the John Hancock building.
Exactly. I was in front of the John Hancock building, which I thought it was the first or the second tallest building in Chicago, and it's not. It's the fifth. You know, I thought it was the first. It's the fifth, and I was like, I put it in one video, and then somebody said, "Can you just show us the buildings, that particular building, going up?" And then I started showing the buildings every time in front of the skyscraper, and then Streeterville has like a lot of high rises, so I get to show you in a nice way, and I don't want people to get dizzy or get a headache, but I show them in a real nice, comfortable way. I show you the building all the way up, and then I tell them about the history of the building, that the John Hancock was like built in the late 60s, early 70s, and it took like 3-4 years to build. And also one of my favorites is a Lake Point Tower, which is on east of Lakeshore Drive. And that's the only building, that was in the 60s always. It's the only high-rise skyscraper built east of Lakeshore Drive. By law now, you cannot build a building more than, and you can see it sticking around when I approach the lakefront. And I mention that every time and tell the history and everything. And then there's more buildings going this way, that way. It's a lot of architectural buildings. As you can see, the skyline behind us. There's so many buildings, so much history. I think the first skyscraper was built here in Chicago. And actually, when I went to Dubai, the guy in the hotel told me that 90% of the buildings that are built in Dubai, designed in Dubai, they were designed by Chicago architects.
And Dubai has a lot of tall buildings, right?
Yeah. And again, the Chicago architects, and if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, the Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, was built by the same architectural company that designed the Sears Tower, the Willis Tower.
And the interesting thing, I still call it the Sears Tower, by the way.
Well, me too, but I say both, just in case anybody says anything in the comments.
The interesting thing about those skyscrapers, you see those X design. They're not designs. That's actual part of the structure.
Right, for the John Hancock, yeah, and it took an amazing work to build that building and thousands of workers. It's amazing. I mean, that building, I think the John Hancock to me is more impressive than the Sears Tower, because you get, when you start right below it, you can see the magnitude, how big the building is, how tall it is, and everything. When I started from the Sears Tower, I still see the tall structure, but it's not as powerful to me as the John Hancock Center that takes like 5 city blocks and is in the middle of a neighborhood, the Streeterville neighborhood. It's not like outside of it's not like in the Loop, or it's like right in the neighborhood. And I wish one day I move in that building. That's what it was.
So when you
I
film
want to be like on the 99th floor, move in that building at some point.
So when you film these buildings, do you film from the ground and then up, or are you able to go to the top floor and film down, or both?
I do both, but most of them are outside. Again, I don't film inside the buildings, except if I go to rooftops or the signature room. I remember I did one over there before it closed, and other places. But most of my videos, I can only speak about the Chicago videos, which I have over 1,700 on my channel. Most of them are all like on the street, like walking on the street. And my Chicago walking videos, downtown walking videos are minimum an hour and maximum 3 hours. The Streeterville videos that I do, walking videos, anywhere from 1 minute to an hour. And then the other regular videos anywhere in the city, it could be anywhere from 1 minute to 3 hours.
When you go to festivals, do you go with the intention to film a good video, or do you go to enjoy the festival, and then if there's something catches your eye, then you do a video?
Well, I do my research before I go there. I go on the City of Chicago cultural page and then see. First, I want to know what time is the event, how long to get there, and I like the music. I'm mostly interested in the music of the festival. Like Taste of Chicago, for example, is about food, but it has a lot of music playing there. So I go film the musicians and also film the booths for the different cuisine, and I like to film the reaction of the people looking at these things. Not that it's like when I do the air and water show, you see not too many airplanes flying. You can hear them, but I always capture the moment of the people looking up, and that thing is priceless. I don't think anybody else does that. They're there to film the airplanes and the boats. I film the crowd that is looking up, and then while they're looking up, you can see the planes going by in the background.
I can remember your video on Lakeshore Drive and the beach, and it was the first hot day this year.
Oh yeah, that was May 15th. That video got 114,000 views already, and it's about 51 minutes. I wanted to do an hour, but I couldn't. I was sweating and everything, and then I started from the lakefront near North Avenue Beach. So I went to Oak Street Beach, and then I took the underpass and went to Michigan Avenue and Oak Street, and kept going in Streeterville. I was gonna continue going south to go by the Wrigley. I don't know how far I went, but it was too hot and I was sweating, so I had to turn around and come back to Streeterville. But still, it was a good video. People are enjoying it. I'm still watching it, still commenting, and it got a big response. I love the lakefront, by the way, as well.
And then that Lakeshore Park, I was filming there one time.
Oh yeah, the Lakeshore Park in my neighborhood. You see a lot of dogs there. It's a dog-friendly park. There is 2 parks in my neighborhood, Seneca Park and Lakeshore Park. Seneca Park, they don't allow dogs, probably because there is a children's playground next door. The fire department is there. The museum is there. But Lakeshore Park, which is only like a block east from there towards the lakefront, you see a lot of dogs. There's people playing tennis there, running. It's always packed with people. And I usually start and finish my videos there because I live in that area and work in that area as well.
And it was really cool because I was there. I just happened to be there. I thought it was a great scene to film. And here you come. Walking on the street.
I run into you, yeah. It's a small world for sure.
That was a really nice surprise.
Yeah, it was a very, very pleasant surprise to see you there in person. And I have a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers. They always tell me, I hope I run into you. And I run into some people people recognize me from my hat. That's one. It's like my trademark. I have like 9 different ones, by the way. And then they call my name, Chris, and I look, but I can't put them on the video because they're behind me, and I don't want to turn around, and they're far away. Chris, we like your videos and everything. And then I asked them if you want to be on the camera, and then I put you on the camera. And then when I was in Cyprus, there was a couple of people. I put them on the camera. Unfortunately, one of the people died 3 years later. So I ended up going to his shop. He invited me to his shop. We did a video and everything. But then once I found out he died, then I did a memorial video. But a lot of people, yeah, I can hear them calling my name. I can't turn around because I'm filming. They usually are behind me. By the time they realize who it is, I'm walking fast and far away.
I want to talk about your goals a little bit.
Yeah.
Your goals. You're a silver play button recipient.
Correct.
Which is really, really something. Actually, I got to hold your silver play button, and that was really cool. You never realize what that is until you actually have one in your hands. Your next goal is your gold play button from YouTube. Tell us about your goal.
I'm going to tell you a story first. On my birthday, last birthday, I only had 8,500 subscribers, and that was a long time ago. And I said on all social media, all my social media accounts, I wish everybody subscribes so I can reach 10,000 subscribers. And then I got to your radio show, and then it jumped to 100,000 in no time. After and I still believe in like this one, the television. I still believe in the old media, better than the social media, more powerful. And my goal was to get 10,000. I hit 100,000. I got the thing, but now I got 245,000 so far. And my next goal is by this birthday to hit 1 million, which is the gold plaque. And I was kidding in the beginning, but now I'm serious. It may happen.
You said that you filmed the musicians.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in the singers. Were you able to film any vocalists?
Yeah, I did film quite a few. There is no way I'm going to remember. Actually, there's a couple of them. They're both vocalists and they also play instruments. Brian DeRoba and Lamar Allen. They're blues musicians. They're on the street. You find them on Michigan Avenue, on State Street. And they're amazing. And, Brian DeRoba plays the guitar and he sings. And Lamar Allen plays the keyboard and he sings, and also he plays the drum with his foot. So you think there's a whole band there. It's only those two, but they sound amazing.
What about in the foreign countries? Are you able to film musicians there as well?
I did film musicians there, but I didn't run to a lot of them like there are here in Chicago. But I did film a few over there as well, and all over the world. It's hard to remember now which countries, but if you go to my music playlist on the YouTube channel, then you can see them over there and you can hear them.
What would catch your eye for a video? Like, let's say you're just walking, and at what point would you start a video?
That's a good question. Most of the time, I tell people when I'm filming a video, I go wherever my camera takes me. I walk down the street, and all of a sudden there's a demonstration. I only film peaceful demonstrations, and all of a sudden there's like 2,000 people demonstrating for different causes, especially in the Federal Plaza, the Daily Plaza, the Michigan Avenue. As long as it's peaceful, I would always record it. And again, I don't show any violence or crime in progress, but I do go wherever my camera takes me, and then I go out to do a video, and a lot of times I go in places that I would never think of going, and I ended up filming a very good video.
What was a video that surprised you the most that you got?
Actually, it didn't surprise me, but I was a funeral of a Chicago firefighter that died on the line of duty. It was right in Streeterville, and I went there just for a few minutes because I heard there's going to be a little bit of a procession, but I didn't realize it was going to be that big. And I ended up filming a 20-minute video right on Chicago Avenue, and then in the Presbyterian Church over there. And then you can see in this video there's thousands and thousands of people in uniform, police officers, firefighters. And I didn't have to talk too much. I only talked in the beginning. It was very, very sad, but very interesting at the same time. I wasn't expecting that kind of the video, and people are still watching and still mentioning and saying, "Wow, Chris, you really captured the moment."
If our viewers want to learn more about you, Chris, where should they go?
Just Google Chris Krzentz Presents.
And how do you spell your name?
The last name is the one that people have trouble finding. It's Krzentz. If you Google Chris Krzentz Presents, you're gonna see all my social media platforms, including YouTube. YouTube is like my primary one.
Thank you so much, Chris. This is Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. Bill Morton, President of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, and me, Trudy Leong, Administrator at the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. This has been Chris Krzentz Presents, and thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Bob.